Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So in today's video we are going to be looking at the 10 most surprising / surprise packages of the Premier League season. Now, I thought I'd do this because I've made 10 most disappointing players this season. Make sure you check that out if you haven't already. So I thought, let's spin it, let's do surprise packages, and let's do a bit more of a positive video, because I also did the biggest mistake your club's made. So let's do a bit of a positive one today. We're looking at surprise packages, so this could be surprise as in their first season or last season they were pretty bad and then they've suddenly become really good. Maybe they're a new signing who many people didn't rate. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with my list, and also I'm doing the same thing as I did with the disappointing players. There can only be one person from a team, so there will not be like 3 Liverpool players, 3 Man City players, just so we can have a little bit of variety. So let's get straight into it. At number 10, I've got Thiago Alcantara for Liverpool. Now, I think he has come leaps and bounds on what he was last season. His first season in Liverpool was really tough for him, I think. One, he had to adjust to a new system, new league. Plus, Liverpool's team was all over the place. They had so many injuries, and it must be hard for a new player in there. So he didn't really hit the heights, which many people thought. But this season has just been absolutely insane. He's come up with some big goals. Every time he gets the ball, he's played some beautiful passes. He played so well in the big games. And he just put in absolute amazing effort, and he's showing the real Thiago. That's why I put him at 10, because everyone I think knows that he has so much ability. It's just we didn't see it last year, but we're seeing it this year, so I thought I should give recognition to that. At number 9, I've got Dejan Kulusevski. Now, I've been really shocked at this one, to be honest. So Kulusevski came in January on loan from Juventus, I believe, with an option to buy. And when Tottenham got him, people were a little bit skeptical. They were like, Kulusevski, he hasn't really done much, bit of a Juve reject, but he's just slotted straight into that front three brilliantly. He's got 14 games, he's got 3 goals and 8 assists, and you compare that to his time at Juventus. He played 2 seasons there, and in those 2 seasons he got 5 goals and 6 assists. So he's in 14 games he's already done better than what he did in 2 years at Juventus. So I think have to give him a shout, and he'll probably be higher, but since he's only been here since January, I can't really put him higher. Number 8, I've got Jacob Ramsey of Aston Villa. Now, this one is very, very surprising, I think, because Jacob Ramsey, he featured last year quite a bit under Dean Smith. He played 22 games in the Premier League, in fact, but he got 0 goals and 0 assists, and I think, there's nothing wrong with that, because he's a very young player. I believe at the time he was like 19. Playing in the Premier League, that's not easy, but we never really saw anything from him to suggest that he was going to become a brilliant Premier League player. Whereas this season, we've seen that. We've seen the glimpses of him being a potential England international, being a potential top 6 midfielder, playing in a more box-to-box role under Gerrard. He's managed to get himself 6 goals and 1 assist this season, which is a much better improvement than last year, and again, I don't think many people saw this coming, to be honest. And yeah, if he continues like this, he might be able to get himself a move and a spot in that England squad. So, number 7, I've got Emmanuel Dennis of Watford. Now, this one, I would have put higher if he didn't just kind of tail off in this last part of the season. But at the start of the season, for like the first 6 months, oh my gosh, he was incredible. He's got 10 goals and 6 assists, 16 goal contributions this season in a really bad Watford team. I remember at one point he was like tied with goal contributions with Salah. It was insane. And to think this guy was at Club Brugge, then apparently there was attitude problems with him. There was a bit of a falling out. He was sent on loan to Cologne where he couldn't score a goal. And then Watford picked him up. When Watford picked him up, I don't think anyone even blinked an eye at that. And if they did, they were probably like, well, this is a pretty bad signing someone from Cologne who couldn't score a goal. Apparently has attitude problems, and didn't exactly light it up at Club Brugge, but he's lighted up in the Premier League, and to be honest, I could see him getting a move as Watford are going down, and it wouldn't surprise me if he did, but it has surprised me that he's been this good. Number 6, and now I've got Kyle Walker-Peters. Now, this one is interesting because the main reason I put him here is because it's surprising that he's become a left back and become a really good left back. Southampton let go of Ryan Bertrand on a free last season, and I think they signed a left back, Romain Perraud, but he's actually not really played that much compared to Walker-Peters. They brought in Livramento and they shifted Walker-Peters to left back. I could have also included Livramento, I was very close, but Kyle Walker-Peters has gone to left back and he's been brilliant this year. In fact, he's got himself an England call up, so I think that's really surprising. And to be honest, if he keeps performing well, and if Luke Shaw doesn't have a good start next season under Ten Hag, Chilwell's not fit enough, then he might well get himself on the plane as a left wing back at the World Cups, and I don't think anybody saw this coming at all. So fair play to Kyle Walker-Peters. It's been a remarkable transition to become a left back. Into the top 5 now, and we go for number 5, Conor Gallagher. Now this one, I think most of us kind of had a little sense that he had ability. He was on loan at West Brom last season, and West Brom was shocking, but he had a little glimpses of promise. So anyone who was looking at him closely would see that he was a decent player. He got 2 goals and 2 assists in a rubbish West Brom side, so I'm not really going to judge him on that, but he was playing a lot deeper. But this year he's gone on loan at Palace. I think when he signed for Palace, people were like, okay, this is a nice little signing, I'm not expecting much, but he's been pushed up the field and he's got a much advanced role, and now he's thriving. He's got 8 goals and 3 assists in the Premier League this season, and like Kyle Walker-Peters has managed to get himself in England squad. He's made his England debut, and the future's looking bright for him now, and he looks like he's going to go back to Chelsea, potentially start for Chelsea, potentially get on the World Cup squad. And if you had told someone at the start of the season this was going to happen, they would have laughed at your face probably. So this has been a really big surprise, and again, the only reason he's a little bit low is because he's kind of tailed off towards the back end of the season. Number 4, and I've gone for Jose Sarr of Wolves. This one is really interesting because Wolves sold Rui Patricio to Roma, and at the time I think people were very surprised because Rui Patricio is a very good goalie, had been very consistent for Wolves, and then they brought in Jose Sarr for 6.8 million from Olympiacos, which again at the time I think not many people would have noticed that. Most people would have thought, well, that's a big downgrade on Rui Patricio. He's a brilliant goalie, but in fact it's been a huge upgrade. He's literally carried Wolves this season, to be honest. Wolves expected goals to concede. This was in, I think, February. They were expected to concede 17 goals. They were expected to concede 28 goals, but they actually conceded 11. So they conceded 11 less goals than expected to, and that is down to Jose Sarr, and he had the best save percentage in the Premier League. It's incredible how good he's been for Wolves, and he's been such a huge upgrade on Rui Patricio when most people thought it was a downgrade. I personally probably thought as well it was a downgrade, so fair play to Jose Sarr, and again, continue like this and he'll get a big move. Into number 3, the top 3, and I was very close in picking Martin Odegaard for this, but for the Arsenal spot I've gone for Aaron Ramsdale. Now, the reason I've gone for Ramsdale is because there was, most people actually said this was a bad signing Ramsdale. To be honest, I was one of them. I hold my hands up. I thought they spent 20 odd million on a goalie who's not really an upgrade on Leno, and it's probably going to be back up to Leno. And I didn't think he was going to start, and if he did, then I was like, well, he's been relegated with Bournemouth, he's been relegated with Sheffield United, he's a good shot stopper, but this is a bit of a dodgy signing, and I think that was a general consensus. But he's come in and just absolutely been brilliant. He's got 12 clean sheets, for 5th most clean sheets this season, and that's not because Arsenal are absolutely incredible defensively. He's part of that. He is a very, very good goalie, and like Kyle Walker-Peters and Gallagher, he's managed to get himself in the England squad, and it's very much in contention for that number 1 spot at the World Cup with Pickford. If Pickford gets relegated and has a poor championship season and is stuck in the championship, then Ramsdale could very well be England's number 1 at the World Cup, which again, you tell someone that at the start of the season that Ramsdale is likely to be England's number 1 at the World Cup, they'll laugh at your face, but he's been incredible, and he might be playing, if Arsenal get top 4 this season, he will be a big part of a reason why, so credit to Ramsdale. And in number 2, I've gone for Declan Rice. Declan Rice, again, most people thought he was a good player. They saw him at the Euros. He was a good player. He was very good in that holding DM role. He was linked to Chelsea in that, and there was links of 100 million. But people were like, oh, Declan Rice, 100 million, 80 million, that's just way too expensive. And I was one of them. But this season, he's proven that actually he could very well be worth that. And he's not just a DM. Southgate uses him in a way where he just sits in front of the midfield defence. But this season at West Ham, he's gone for the box-to-box role, and he has absolutely thrived in it. So credit to him, and he's turned himself into a star at West Ham, and he's probably, he's going to be priced out of a move, but he is one of the most sought-after midfielders in the Premier League. And again, I don't think many people saw this development from Rice coming. You could argue he's been the best midfielder this season in the league, which not many people thought. And he's also come come up clutch in the big moments. He's got 3 goals in the Europa League as well this season, helping them to the semi-finals. So Declan Rice has been brilliant, but a player who has been really brilliant this season, and I don't think many people saw this coming. Number 1 is Bernardo Silva. Now, the main reason I put this in here is because in the summer there was very, very big rumours that Bernardo Silva was unhappy, he was homesick, he wanted to go to Spain and play in like a sunny weather. There was rumours that Atletico Madrid had put in bids for him, he wanted to leave the club, and I think they were actually true. But he stayed, and he's probably been Man City's best player, you could argue, this season. It's not like the others where, you know, they may have been bad players. Bernardo Silva's always been a great player. He had an alright season last year, but this season he has been incredible, playing in so many positions. He played in centre mid, he played as a false 9 on the right, and he's been incredible. Same thing with Declan Rice, he's come up in big moments as well. He's been fantastic in them big games. He scored 3 goals in the Champions League this season. He scored 8 goals this season in the Premier League, the most he scored in a season with Man City this year, and he's been one of the best players in the league this season. And to think this guy was going to leave and wasn't really playing much last season, to becoming one of the best players in potentially the Champions team, that is an incredible turnaround, which I don't think many people saw. I think at the start of the season, most people would have thought Kevin De Bruyne or someone would be their main player, but it's been Bernardo Silva. So credit to Bernardo Silva. But those are my 10 most surprising players of the season. Let me know in the comments if you agree with my picks. If you have enjoyed, please leave a like, consider subscribing, and I will see you in another video. Peace.